why is gas $5 a gallon? And like, why do I have to pay rent? And why is rent so high? And why do I have to drive my car and get the gas that I have to get to go to the job that I have to pay for rent? Why do I have to do all of that stuff? And why are you making it so fucking expensive to do it? I don't even want to get out and pump my gas. It feels like getting out and just knowing someone's gonna fucking stab you. Why would you get out? This is beginning. This is the beginning of life. What am I supposed to do forever? I have to get a fucking horse. I'm fucking stressed out! I'm fucking stressed! We should not be working like this. I work my ass off and I can't even fucking pay bills, bro. And they always say don't compare yourself to others, but I see people going to Coachella and fucking like buying all types of shit, just pointless fuck you money, and I'm over here can't even fucking pay my fucking rent, bro. Well, second time in a year, almost a year to the day, I got laid off again, twice in a year. And, what the fuck? What is anyone supposed to do? And they said, because of the economy is crap right now. So, we're gonna lay off a whole bunch of people again. And I already was struggling so hard, actually low-key, to even keep the current roof over my head. And now I have no idea how I'm even going to get through the next few hours. I just don't understand. But yeah, the economy is shit. America is shit right now. I feel like there's a really big plan for them to, tank this so that we have to rely on other things, other people. It's fucking shit. And I'm quite frankly tired of it. I'm tired of my livelihood being in other people's hands. And I have no idea how to fix that. But I'm going to, because this is just wild. And I'm fucking angry more than I am hurt or sad. I'm scared. I have no idea where any of my bills are gonna come from. The money. I'm more angry than anything because I just cannot even believe I used to be able to get a job like the week later if I got laid off.
$25 an hour isn't a living wage in 2026 when a few groceries from the store cost $70, when people are paying anywhere from $80 to $200 a week for gas, when the median rent prices are anywhere from $1,500 to $1,700 a month. It's no longer obtainable. It literally feels like working anymore is a scam, and you're selling all of your time for nothing. You're flushing your entire life down the toilet, and you're not even getting anything out of it anymore. A few short years ago, people were able to comfortably get by on $25 an hour. Now it's completely out of the water. People are out here making the most money that they've ever made in their lives, yet they're the brokest they've ever been. It's not bad money management, it's an economy that feels impossible. How much longer do we have until we rise up against this corrupt administration, tell them that we're not doing this anymore, because it's not working out for any of us, and I personally believe that us as human beings deserve a better quality of life. And until we can afford healthy food, until we can afford housing, insurance, healthcare, life necessities, there literally is no point in working at all.
I feel like everybody is having a hard time right now, like even the stable people. I personally am having like an identity existential crisis, but even my stable friends are like shutting down their Instagrams, like closing down their Facebooks, even if it's just for a month. I know stable people who are like losing their minds at night. Finances, government, data centers, AI, like the future. I think we're actually all collectively freaking out. Am I alone with that?
I got a letter recently that my property taxes are going to go up $600 a year from now on. I got a letter that my homeowner's insurance is going up $60 a month. My propane company sent me a letter that my propane is going to double this year. They just came and filled up my tank. It was $1,000. That's crazy. Also, as a entrepreneur and business owner, I get my health insurance through the marketplace. So you have the Affordable Care Act. I pay $45 a month. They just informed me that if this bill passes and I lose my tax credit, I'm going to go from $45 a month to $660 a month for health insurance. I need to buy a new car and I can't because the cars have gotten more expensive and the interest rates have gotten so much more expensive. I can't find a reliable car that has the same monthly payment of $450 a month that I've been paying now for a new car. Not necessarily new, but new to me. Groceries are insane, and it feels like every day I get a new email from another subscription that I have, whether it's Netflix, my website subscription, everything's increasing in price. And I sit pretty much every day stressed about money, and yet I know that there are so many people in this country that are way worse off than me, and they're not making it, y'all. They're not making it. What hurts me the most is that there are so many women, especially, that just cannot afford to leave abusive homes and they have to stay in it because of this economy. So are we great again, America? Like, is this what you voted for? Meanwhile, they all sit there in DC, not feeling any of these pressures, not doing anything about it, not giving a shit about the American people. I have been extremely poor and I have been extremely wealthy. And I know from firsthand experience that the wealthy people don't notice it. And most people are pretty self-absorbed and aren't thinking about other people anyway. So we got to talk about this more. We got to raise hell. We have to let DC know that this is not acceptable. Regardless of your party, we have got to help each other.
At this point, I seriously think Gen Z is just screwed. In 2026, Gen Z just simply earns way less than it costs to survive. The average Gen Zer makes about $25K a year, which is around $21,000 a month, and spends basically all of it on bills or rent. Nearly half of Gen Z runs out of money before the end of the month ends, and that's not just budgeting, that's just survival at that point. And don't get me started on student loan debt, because the average Gen Zer also has about $30K of student loan debt on top of all of that. We are spending more on essentials than any other previous generation, and wages just keep going down, and the cost of living just keeps going up. You're not failing in life. The system is just has completely fucked us over. Budgeting does help, don't get me wrong. I still use mine to budget and track all of my expenses, but the system is still failing us.
This is why the average American is struggling and complaining about wages and the cost of living. Here's the math. There's about 80 million Americans making $50,000 or less. And these are essential jobs that we need to operate this entire country. And they are being underpaid. $50,000 after taxes, 401k, and health insurance is $2,900 a month take-home pay in 2026. Let's say they find an apartment with utilities for $1,500 a month. Let's say that they do a perfect budget of $100 a week for groceries. They don't eat out. They don't do DoorDash. They are perfect when it comes to their food. $400. Let's say they get a used car well below the average for $300 to get them back and forth on their 45-minute commute. Then they have $150 for car insurance, $150 for gas, $150 for cell phone and internet, and $100 for personal care. Leaves them with $150. And they have no student loans and no credit cards. How is somebody in America in 2026 who is financially perfect, zero debt, investing in their 401k, budgeting to the dime, has $150 left over? How do they go on dates? How did they travel? God forbid, what if someone passes away in their family and they have to go travel out of state to the funeral, or a friend is getting married? They would have to put that on a credit card. We have built an economy that if you're perfect, you still have to have a second job in order to make progress. And it's so exhausting to hear people just throw out these things. Would you ever think about cutting your expenses? What are you gonna cut? This person is perfect. The wages have to go up, or we need to cut taxes on the first $100,000 and allow people to keep their money. Our generation got fucked.
The U.S. economy is in big trouble. Let's talk about bankruptcies. Wow, wow, wow. In the first half of 2026, the first quarter, January, February, March 2026, bankruptcies skyrocketed 14%. 131,573 personal bankruptcies, commercial bankruptcies, 8,436. Chapter 7 bankruptcy rose 17%. Chapter 13 bankruptcy went up 8%. And the worst of all, ready for this? Chapter small business bankruptcies went up 67%. If you didn't know, small business is 98% of business in the USA. It's not large businesses. Small business makes up 98% of the US economy. We are in an economic crisis. The economy is collapsing every single day. This is 100% self-inflicted, and it's done by one man.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Alright, let's talk about something that almost everyone can understand. The pain of watching your money disappear faster than you can even earn. You get paid, right? You pay for rent or mortgage, you buy groceries, you pay the electricity bill, you fill up your car, you pay for insurance, and then you look at your bank account and think, wait, where did all the money go? That is the reality many Americans are facing today. And for many white Americans, the cost of living crisis is becoming a serious source of frustration and anxiety. Now, let's be clear. The rising cost of living is affecting people from many different backgrounds. This is not a problem that belongs to one racial group. But today we are focusing on the growing frustration among many white Americans who feel that the traditional promise of financial stability is becoming harder and harder to achieve every day by day. Because for generations, many people believe that if you work hard, got a job, buy a home, and manage your money responsible, you could build a comfortable life. But today, many people are asking, is hard work still enough? Because working hard does not automatically make groceries cheaper. It does not make groceries cheaper. It does not make the rent cheaper. It does not make a house affordable. And it definitely does not stop unexpected bills from appearing at the worst possible moments. Because most of the time, the worst possible bill that can, appear is when you are very down, when you are very broke, you don't have money. And you can still be working full-time and still feel broke. You can still have a decent salary and still be living paycheck to paycheck. And that is where the frustration begins. People are looking at their parents' generation and comparing their experience to their own. Some other Americans were able to at least buy homes at price that seems almost impossible today. Meanwhile, younger people are looking at today's housing marketing and saying, a house costs how much? And then they check the mortgage rates and say, you know what? Maybe I will just live in my car. Okay, maybe that is not the plan, but you get the point, right? The financial pressure is real. It's real for many households. It's real. Housing costs are rising in many areas. Food prices have become a major concern. Healthcare can be expensive. Children care or childcare can cost more than some people's rent. And even the basic service that seems to come with a price tag, even the basic service seems to come with a price tag that makes you wonder if the company is trying to, buy the entire country. The biggest issue is that income does not always feel like it's keeping up with the expenses. People may be earning more money than they did years ago, but if everything else is becoming more expensive, that extra income may not feel like any progress at all. It can be running like, it can feel like running on a treadmill. You are moving, right? You are walking. You are exhausted. But somehow you you are still in the same place. And this is why more people are beginning to question the system. They are asking, why does working hard not necessarily lead to a better life? Why is homeowners becoming so difficult? Why are families struggling even when they have jobs? And perhaps most importantly, how long can people continue living like this before something has to change? Now this is where the conversation becomes political. Some people blame inflation. Some blame corporation and rising profits. Some blame government policies. Some blame housing shortage. Some blame wages that have not kept pace with expenses. And some people blame all of the above. Honestly, depending on what you think, the cost of living crisis has about 17, or let me just say 47 different causes. Yes, it has like 47 different causes. And everyone is convinced that their explanation is the correct one. But regardless of the political debates, many families are simply focusing on survivor. They are not thinking about complicated economic theories. They are thinking about, can I pay the bills? Or can I pay my bills this month? Can I afford groceries? Can I repair my car? Can I handle unexpected medical expenses? And this is where the conversation becomes very real. Because financial stress does not care about political slogans. It does not. It does not care whether you are left wing or right wing. It does not care your race. When the rent is due, the rent is due. And when the grocery bill suddenly costs twice as much as you expected, that is a problem that affects real family. For some white Americans, this economic pressure is also creating a sense of disappointment. They are disappointed. They are so disappointed and frustrated. They may have believed that the country their parents or grandparents knew would provide greater opportunity for the next generation. But now, some are asking whether their children will have the same opportunity they had. Will they be able to buy a house? Will they be able to raise a family comfortably? Will they ever be able to retire? You see someone very old that is supposed to be retired, still working. These are serious questions that a lot of people are asking. And what makes this situation even more frustrating is that many people feel that they are doing everything they were told to do. They went to work, they paid their bills, tried to save money, they try to be responsible, and yet they still feel financially trapped. That alone can create anger. It can create anxiety. It can create resentment. And it can also make people lose faith in the idea that the system is working for ordinary people. But here is something important to remember. The cost of living crisis is not simply about one racial group. Many Black, Latino, Asian, immigrants, and working class families are also facing serious economic pressure. The details may differ, but the frustration of struggling to afford the basic necessity is something millions of people understand. And perhaps that is where people from different backgrounds can find common ground. Because when the cost of living becomes too high, people begin to realize that they may have more in common than they thought. you know, different background, different expenses, different political opinion, but the same question: how are ordinary people supposed to keep up? How? And that is a question government, business, and policy makers need to take seriously, because people can only stretch their budgets so far. You cannot keep cutting back forever. Eventually, there is nothing, like, you will cut to the extent that there is nothing to cut, nothing left to cut. And when people reach that point, they start demanding answers. They start demanding answers because at that point they are frustrated, they are confused, they are disappointed. In fact, they are at a high rage. So I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Do you think cost of living crisis is reaching a breaking point? Are people working harder but, you know, getting less in return? Do you think housing, food prices, healthcare, wages, or government policies are the bigger problem? And what do you think needs to change? What do you think needs to change? I would like to hear you guys' opinion and thoughts in the comment section below. And once again, let's have a real conversation, but please, let's keep it respectful. If you enjoyed this commentary, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your notification for more discussion about the issue affecting ordinary people. This is Charcomfortii TV. We don't just watch the conversation, we talk about it. Thanks for watching, and see you all in my next video. Bye. Love ya.